The Investing Project is about helping ordinary people achieve substantial wealth without upending their everyday lives. The Million Dollar Experiment is a real-time example of this project in action. And my foundational premise in leading this project is that I am not an expert in any of these topics. Rather, I'm building a system that weaves in other people's expertise and makes it possible for me, and you hopefully, to achieve tremendous results in a very short time. So remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't just blindly copy me. Instead, use this as a framework to integrate your own choice of experts that will help you achieve the results you want. Welcome to the week 20 update for the Million Dollar Experiment. Things are proceeding along a little bit ahead of schedule, actually, but we'll say along plan. We had a pretty roller coaster week in terms of trading. We met our objective for the Million Dollar Experiment by the end of the day Tuesday, and we switched over to our alternate accounts. We had a total of $1,120 in trading income for the week. We had on the growth engine, we had written one more covered call contract for an additional $59. That's on top of the $257 that we wrote at the beginning of the month. So things are proceeding pretty well. We'll go into it in more detail when we jump into the spreadsheet. Okay, looking at the spreadsheet here, we had a pretty busy week. More trades than I would normally like to do. We had, 21 trades. I said there were 12 wins, 5 losses, and 4 break-evens. That's more activity than I'd like. Honestly, if I could get 2 or at the very most 3 trades in a day, that's lots. But this is just more than I want. However, the first couple of days were really good. On the Monday, we ended up with a substantial profit. What did we have here? $1,080 that day. And then followed that up the next day with about a $700 win. And that was absolutely great. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of trading on Fed day. And although the first trade was okay, my automatic trailing stop took me out before it would have been a $500 trade. I only ended up with $100 to show for it. And then I tried to catch the bounce 3 times and failed each time. And I got hit for what was net a $920 loss. That was to some degree avoidable. I know that trading Fed days are iffy at best. And unfortunately, that happened. On the Thursday and Friday, tiny wins to net out the week. We ended up profitable overall for the week, $1,120. Yeah, it was a good week. It was a roller coaster week. On the growth engine side, and the thing to mention, I'll come back to that. On the growth engine side, this is where things start to get a bit interesting. We haven't done that much up to this point, but now we have a share position where we were assigned on the put that we put on DRAM back on the 16th of July. And so that position is underwater at the moment. But since we're not closing it yet, we're not going to count that as a gain or a loss. Ultimately, we expect it's going to be a gain when DRAM rebounds. But for now, it's sitting in the loss territory. What we are going to do is look at the things that have closed. And so we had put on a covered call for DRAM for the July 31st 66 strike. That ended up being expiring worthless, which means we kept the full $107 that we put on. We had put on the SoFi 3 contracts of the $15 puts. Those are still undergoing. We got $50 for putting those on. Those are still proceeding. SoFi is above 15 at the moment. We'll find out if it is on the 21st of August, so much the better. If not, we'll be assigned those shares. And then we put on another covered call on DRAM. We just did that on Friday and put together another $59. So far this month, we have written $316 in option premium. So that's ours regardless. And we'll see where things stand as we get closer to the end of the month. But so far, it is what it is. We have a pullback in DRAM. I expect at some point in the not too distant future, it will recover. So now if we go and look at our totals, we can see where we sit for the month and for the week. For the week, first of all, like I mentioned, we had a $1,120 week. We could see that by the Tuesday, we had fulfilled our target for the $1 Million Experiment. We had expected to make $1,470, and when that second trade closed, when the final trade closed on Tuesday, we had made $1,951. So we're way ahead there. So that's good. We then moved over to our alternate account in time for the drubbing that happened on the Wednesday. And so we're currently sitting minus 660 in the alternate or simulation account. So we'll see how that, I fully expect in the next couple of weeks that will do pretty well. We'll probably come close to the amount that's in the $1 million experiment account as well. So that's extra money. So far, so good. And then you can see what we did on the first day of the month. We had written the option premium that we already talked about, $257. And then on Friday, we wrote another $59 for a total of $316 so far. I expect that on the next Friday, we will add another, I don't know, $50, $60 or so in option premium, which will bring us even higher. Our target for the month is $154. We're sitting at $316 already. So far, so good. We're ahead of plan. Actually, I think we're substantially ahead of plan, although I'm just trying to keep us focused on plan and not think too highly of ourselves, because you never know when we end up with a bad month. But if we look at our overall dashboard, we're proceeding along. We're on month 5, so it's still a little bit early to see any distinguishable change in our overall progress. But this is how exponential returns work. It's not until further along that we really see, wow, this has really taken off. And of course, we expect it to. We expect it to continue to take off as we compound our money in our trading account. And right around that time is when we start to pull out an income and a certain contribution amount to the growth engine every month, so that we can dollar cost average in. And that's when the growth engine really takes off, meeting at the $500,000 mark in each account. So $1 million right around, it's not quite month 60, I think it's month 59-ish or so, 58 or 59. Anyway, that's the plan. And we're proceeding according to plan. So that's where we are for this week. Oh, just one more thing before we sign off. If you would like to download the exact plan and blueprint that we're using to drive the $1 million experiment, you can download it for free from our website. It's at theinvestingproject.com. The link is in the description. There's also our $1 million experiment YouTube channel, where you can see all of the trades that we place as we place them.